Hey guys, it's Johanna again. It's been a little while since I filmed, so I thought I'd throw a quick video up. Today I am going to tell you what some of my favorite one and done shadow singles are. Now let's get going. And just so you guys are aware, if you are curious, the lipstick that I am wearing is the shade, or is from the NYX Liquid Suede line, and it is in the shade Orange County. So I store a lot of my shadow singles and glitters in this just clear acrylic drawer that's part of a 3-drawer set that I got on Amazon. It was pretty cheap. I think it was like 20 something dollars. So if you need a good acrylic container, I think it was from the brand By Allegory. I could be wrong on that, but Amazon has a lot of really similar affordable storage options, and it really fits everything really nicely. So some of the things I'll be going over will be from this, and then I have some shadow singles that I'm just going to pop in a little Z palette to show you as well. Okay, so I've got my stuff laid out. It is a combination of mainly ColourPop Super Shock shadows, the Stila Shimmer and Glows or Glitter and Glows, and then we have a few different singles as well. So I'll go ahead and start with the ColourPop Super Shock shadows. Everybody's pretty familiar with these by now, it seems like. They're really affordable. Everything, singles included. The singles that I chose are not from any palettes, so everything can be purchased individually. So everything in my little ColourPop collection here are pretty neutral. Just stuff that you can kind of easily just swipe on the lid, go out the door, call it good. Even if you were like going out and not doing something super casual, all of the things that I've chosen are very sparkly or metallic. So if that's not your thing, you're probably not gonna like any of these. They do all have at least some shimmer in them. But they also make really good toppers if you are doing a full look involving your palettes or other shadows, but they can also be used by themselves. So the first one that I'll talk about is the shade Ritz, which is a very popular shade. So you've probably seen people talk about it before. I think I learned about this shade from Julia Mazzucato. She is a really cool YouTuber. Unfortunately, she's not making videos anymore, but if you don't mind watching some older content, I really like her stuff. So this is mainly a just kind of a plain silver kind of a topper that has a very slight, kind of a warm taupey base to it. So it is sheer enough to kind of layer on top of other shadows, but it does have just the slightest base of base pigment if you did want to use it by itself. So that one is the shade Ritz. Second is going to be another one that has more of an opaque base to it, and this is I would call it a silvery taupe shade with more of a metallic finish. And this is the shade I Heart This. And this is what she looks like. You can see that this one definitely has less of a transparent base than Ritz. It definitely has a metallic finish, but it is subtle enough that you can use it by itself. It shears out really pretty. So that was the shade I Heart This. Next up, we have one that has a little bit of a duochrome flip to it. This is the shade Sailor. And this one, it has kind of a similar taupey base to it, but this one has a really unique blue shimmer flip to it. It's a little bit difficult to see on camera. You can kind of see it right there. But if you're wanting something that has kind of a unique, more of a unique quality to it. And this is one that I would consider very sheer as well. This one, it doesn't quite swatch as easily on camera, but you can kind of see the blue quality to it when the light hits it. And again, that was the shade Sailor. So I've got 3 more. And then these are kind of, they have a variety of finishes as well. The first is the shade Ladybug, which is a kind of a light rosy champagne color. It definitely has pink in it. You can kind of see it. This one I would say has both a base pigment and a shimmer to it. And this one almost has kind of a chunkier, almost like a flaky quality to it. It's right there. They all kind of look pretty similar on camera, but they do have some really subtle differences that are a little bit easier to see in the pan. And this one looks really pretty over like a champagne-y color or even just a light pink base. So that was the shade Ladybug. Got two more. This is the shade Frog. This is considered one of their ultra glitter shades. And this one, it has more of a cool tone pink, as well as kind of some different colored glitter pieces in it. You can definitely see purple as well as blue and some pink. So again, another color that looks really pretty by itself or on top of another color. And then this one is different, very different compared to the other ones that I mentioned. This is the shade Ice Dream, and it is an icy white shade with a definite blue and purple shift to it. So you can kind of see it there when the light hits it. And this one is considered an ultra glitter shade as well. So this one, again, this one has kind of a chunkier texture to it. And there you can see that like really strong shift. And this one, I have also worn on my cheeks as like an icy highlight. So if you don't mind a glitter highlight, I have noticed that some of these do look really nice on the cheeks in kind of the same way that the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlighter does. It does definitely give a similar effect. All right, so next I have a few different of the Stila Shimmering Glows and Glittering Glows. These are really popular for a while, but they kind of fell out of the YouTube sphere just because as time has gone on, there are definitely more affordable alternatives. But these are some ones that I already had in my collection that seemed worth mentioning. That said, they do dry out very quickly, and honestly, these are probably dried out by now, but I did find them worth mentioning. So this is the first one. It is one of the Shimmer and Glows, and it is in the shade Starlight, and it is a it is just like a light champagne kind of gold. And this one, the Shimmer and Glows definitely have a very different texture to them than the Glitter and Glows. I mean, the difference is pretty obvious. I mean, you can see it in the name. This one, it's just a solid champagne color. My only complaint with this one is I do feel like it is more prone to creasing than the other ones that I have. But I know that it is a shade that I've worn to work really easily, just something that I can kind of put on the lid and walk out the door. The second one is another one from the Shimmer and Glow collection, and this one is a very unique, really pretty color. This is the shade Cloud, and it is a lavender with a kind of gold, kind of champagne, even a little bit of silvery reflect. So let me paint that on here. They're definitely not in as good of condition as when I first got them. They definitely take a little bit more effort, but that said, they are really old. Like, it's impressive that I've made them last this long. And this is another one that I really got a lot of use out of. And you can kind of see like the texture has lumped up on my hand a little bit, but honestly, it is just because it is old. Like, it usually performs really smoothly, so you won't kind of get that texture unless you keep it too long and let it dry out like I do, and then you're gonna have to battle that a little bit. The two glitter and glows that I will mention are the shade Kitten Karma and the shade Wanderlust. So the shade Kitten Karma is a really popular shade from Stila. They first released that Kitten Karma shade as an eyeshadow, then it became like a highlight. So I'm not at all surprised that they kind of expanded that in the form of this. And this is so blinding. This is a rose gold with a crazy metallic shimmer. It looks a little bit more silvery on camera, but it definitely has a rose gold base to it. So this is one of the most opaque ones from the Glitter and Glows. Some of the other ones are more sheer. And then this is the shade Wanderlust, which is another of their duochromes. And this one, again, is gonna have a rose gold base to it, but this one is definitely more of a pinky, pinky peach almost duochrome effect to it. And this one, it's not performing super great anymore because it's old, but I can still make it work. So that is the shade Wanderlust. When the light catches it, it really turns into a really pretty peach reflect when it catches the light. So that is it for the Glitter and Glow and Shimmer and Glows. If you are looking for some cheaper alternatives to these, check out the liquid glitter eyeshadows from e.l.f. They have some really good alternatives. I know that they have a gold one and some other colors as well. Next up, I have this little Z palette. The Z palette, it's not actually Z palette brand, it's just an empty magnetic palette. I got it on Amazon. It comes in a few different sizes, so if you want to buy one of those, that's what that is. And then I have these 4 singles. So the first single is from Terra Moon Cosmetics. They are an indie brand, and the shade is Terra Borealis. And this one, if I had to describe it, it is a purple base with a kind of a blue-green reflect. It's definitely significantly different from like those red-brown ones that you see a lot. So it's similar, it has kind of a similar quality, but it is definitely unique compared to some of those other ones. Can you? Oh, this one's gonna be hard to show. All right, I'm gonna wipe that off and we're gonna try to re-swatch that real quick. I'm just using some cheap makeup removing wipes. Usually I don't use those, but just have them on hand because I did some traveling recently. There we go. Okay, that is so much better. You can see it's almost got a multi-chrome. Ugh, so pretty. The next shade is going to be another Terra Moon's shade. This is the shade Cinnamon Sugar. And this is kind of a pinky coppery tone with almost a little bit of a greenish reflect. So those are the 2 shades together. You can see that this one definitely has more red, and this one is definitely more of like a lavender tone. And then here is this one swatched next to that one. So definitely more of a smooth formula. It does not have any kind of chunky textured pieces the way that the Terra Moons one, or the Terra Borealis does. Next, this is from ColourPop. I'm pretty sure most people know what this is. This is the shade Glass Bull. And I always want to call it Glass Bull, but it is not Glass Bull. It is Glass Bull, like the animal. So this one, it is kind of similar to Terra Borealis, but they swatch super differently. So this is what this shade looks like. It is more sheer. And then this is the shade Terra Borealis. So even though they look very similar in the pan, they swatch super different. So this is what they look like side by side in the pan. They look very, very similar, but then when you actually swatch them out, they do look very different. And then the last one that I've got here is the shade Meteorite. And this is a kind of a yellow gold, but it also has a pink tone to it, like a pink quality. And then this one, that one again was the shade Meteorite. That is what she looks like. Again, a little bit of a chunkier formula, but this is what it looks like sheared out. So you can definitely see more of that yellow gold quality to it. I haven't used this one on the cheek, but I would imagine that it would probably work really pretty with a light hand and sheared out a little bit more. So that is it for the video today. Those were just some of my favorite singles. If you have any questions or if you have any other video ideas, let me know. Again, I'm just a baby YouTuber, so give me a follow. It definitely helps. Bye.